How to master your thoughts to become the best version of you. Now, the funny thing is, I am trying to master my own thoughts to become the best version of me to make this video, because I have been hit with another test at the same time. I went to go film outside on the balcony, and then there's so much construction noise, leaf blowers, there's all these sounds happening, and I really tried to push through that. I come inside, I try to film the rest of the video, and I'm not able to hit the words that I want to hit. So this is an exact representation of what it is like in life when you're just going to try and do something but get hit with a test. But the reality of life is that you will not be tested on something you can't overcome. And that's what I've learned. So in this video, I'm purely going to be talking about the things that I have learned through this journey. Right? And if you do not know who I am, and I don't expect you to know who I am, my name is Rohan Maddock. I am the owner of Self-Conquered Performance. I have generated a business that does multi-six figures. I'm 27, worked with over 500 clients, and I've been able to go through life at a way that a lot of people, I think the best way to put this is aspire to be, because I just have a level of ambition and a level of grit and drive that I will just do whatever I need to do to get to the next level, right? And that comes at a cost, because I try to do this without fucking anyone over, and I try to be the nice guy in the situation. And my test right now is maybe not being as nice anymore, right? Being nice, but not too nice to the point where I now get affected because of how nice I am, right? That's a test that I'm currently going through at this point. Now, I'm going to be discussing a lot of the reflections, the ups and downs, and how to navigate your mind throughout this journey. So let's talk about the ups and downs. As I said earlier, I believe we are given tests in this world because whether it's God, the universe, and spirituality, we are given tests because we know how to overcome it. We just have to find a different opportunity, a different level of ourselves for us to get out of said test, right? And that test is equal. Nobody's test is greater than another person's test. It just feels greater in the moment because you haven't understood, you haven't felt this before, and you don't know how to get out of it. But what happens? Every single time you overcome that particular test, we're able to teach another person how to get out of it, how to overcome it. And that builds that resilience, that builds that grit of an individual, because they've gone through so many tests, they've come at the other end, the other side of these tests, and now they feel like, no, everything is the same. We just have to tap into a different version of ourselves to overcome that test. And I feel like life is just testing. You know, we have to be tested multiple times in this life, and the test will keep repeating itself multiple times until you overcome it. Because once you overcome that particular test, if it tries to come back again, you know what to do. Oh, cool, this happened before. Let me just do this. Because that worked last time, it'll work this time. And guess what, you know, bang, it'll happen. But tests will just continue to revolve and continue to come back until you overcome it. Now, for me, that was a communication thing. For me, that was always about my lack of communication, my lack of care for another person. You know I said, oh, I'm super nice, but on the contrary, I can be very selfish as well. And it's a weird dilemma that I go through, because I'm so selfish with my goals, my ambition, and the things that I want to do in this world. But at the same time, I try to be, and I am just a nice, genuine person. But then that can collide with each other, and I can seem as a selfish, arrogant dickhead when I know deep down I'm not that person. So I've been given these tests, and that's why my relationships have failed time and time again, because I was never able to communicate. I was never able to separate my ambition to my love life. And right now I'm at a place in life where, again, my relationship, I am going through a lot of friction, right? I'm not anymore, which is amazing, but not gonna lie, a couple weeks ago I was going through a lot of friction in my relationship and my business, where I was trying to be so selfish and so ambitious with my goals that I actually neglected the one person in my life that truly devotes themselves to me, and I devote myself to them. And I got to a point where I thought in my head, she was doing all these things because of XYZ reason, but in reality, it was because I was doing all these things and she was reacting a certain way, and the rules of reciprocity, right? I wasn't giving her, so she wasn't giving me. And I was expecting her to give me when I wasn't giving her, right? And then there were just a lot of turmoil and lack of love within the relationship. And that's something that I've learned and something that I've overcome now, because I'm realizing, okay, yes, I'm gonna be super ambitious with my goals. I'm gonna be super ambitious and selfish with my business, but at the same time, I am going to love my partner, even the minimal stuff that I can do. You know, like keep writing her a note in the start of the day, whenever I can. You know, fucking buying her flowers, bro. Like I literally bought these flowers for her today, actually. You know, taking out to date night, making sure I can spend time with her and separate time with her. Because I came to the realization, I'm like, dude, like what the hell, what is the point of me having a business that will eventually do like 7 figures if I can't even use that time and money that I've made for the people around me? Okay, I can get the Rolex, I can get the Lambo, I can get all the houses and shit, but what the hell is the point of having a Lambo if I don't have someone to share it with? What's the point of having a house if it's empty? What's the point of life, realistically, if all I'm doing is providing for me and not for anyone around me, right? So that's a lesson that I'm very grateful that I'm learning early now in this time versus learning later in life. Because I know I've already started to paint the picture in my head that if I kept going down the path that I would eventually have a wife that would resent me. I would have children that I would be distant with just because I'm trying to focus on work. When now my goal is to be super wealthy and ambitious and like provide for my family generationally, but to also make sure that I'm there for my family and I love my family the most. And I think that is the hardest thing to possibly do for an ambitious person. You know what? That's just me being honest and transparent. If you have done this, please comment down below how you did this, because I would love to learn from another individual, because that is something that I know will be a continuous test for me. And I know I said I've overcome it, but the reality is it will come back again, right? Now that ties me into the next point, and that's reflecting on your emotions. And that's what I'm doing right now. I am someone that reflects via video, via voice notes, because I like to articulate my thoughts as opposed to writing my thoughts down. My brain moves way too quick for me to write things down, and I should be practicing writing because it will slow down my mind and to allow me to articulate and like analyze my thoughts better before writing or before saying. But I just really love talking, and I really love just spitting the shit half the time, and I get to realizations and understandings maybe a little bit slower than another individual, but that's okay because I genuinely love the way my brain works, right? So reflecting on your emotions, understanding that whether something was positive, whether something was negative, why did I react that way? You know, when business does really good, I react a certain way. Like my business dictates my emotions. Whether the business does good or bad, I either feel good or bad, right? If the business is doing flatline, I feel like normal, right? And right now, I'm going through that phase where I'm trying to detach myself from that entity and just be like, look, whether the business is good or bad, my partner loves me, my partner cares for me, I want to have a good life with her. And I don't want to now mix my business into her, because it's not her problem. Like my business is not her problem. She wasn't born into this world for her to be like, yep, my end goal is now to like regulate Rohan's emotions because of his business. Like, no, that's not what it is. So reflecting on our own emotions, understanding, you know, why did we feel a good way positively, whether that's in work, your gym, your confidence, a girl, your business, and understanding, you know, the converse, like what happened if things went bad and how did you react? How did the other people around you get affected? Right, so that is going to be really important because that's essentially what's going to be guiding you through this world and allowing you to make those adjustments and, you know, create that future for yourself. Funny enough, I do believe that everything is pre-written, but in terms of that pre-written concept, the decisions you make, trying to actually articulate this is very difficult. Whatever decision you make has already been made, right? So if you go down the path of, okay, I want to make the decision, fuck my girlfriend, I'm just going to focus on my business, well, that had already been curated in another universe, right? But in this universe, I've curated, no, fuck that, I want her and I want this. How can I go through here? And that's a more difficult path because that path is going to mean more sacrifice to her or more sacrifice to the business, and finding that even middle. Maybe that means I don't make fucking $100,000, $200,000 a month by this year. But maybe that means I make $100,000, $200,000 a month in 3-4 years time. But in 3-4 years time, I have a partner that absolutely loves me. We have a great fucking relationship. We have kids on the way. versus having $100,000 to $200,000 a month business. I've lost her, but I've got that. Like, what really matters, right? So that's what I'm trying to understand and realize, that everything is pre-written, but whatever our mind goes to is what our brain will start to generate, right? Now, next step here is like how to navigate through the distractions. Because once we start to understand ourselves a little bit more, we tend to get a little bit distracted, right? And this is something that, funny enough, I am still like, this is something I'll always be going through, right? I'm always trying to understand about myself. But there will always be a level of distraction that comes in. Now, a simple, a universal example of distraction being your phone, right? You know, you start going down a particular path, like you want to start making money, you want to like really get into the best shape of your life, but then you get distracted because you see some girl shaking her ass on Instagram, and what do? Your monkey brain gets that urge to now like fucking jack off. And then you jack off, you feel like shit, and then you try to slug your way through like your life again. Oh, I'm trying to be ambitious, but you know, I've just like put my entire fucking generation into a tissue box, and now I don't really have the drive to do anything anymore, right? Side note, NoFap is necessary for male development. And I have failed NoFap. Mind you, I actually had this is a really random story, but I had a 3-year streak of NoFap. And last year I completely broke it, and it was demoralizing because the devil was in my head, and I just started doing it consistently time and time again. And it was horrendous, bro. But I've got that again. I've curated that. I've grasped that that NoFap energy again, and I feel amazing because I'm able to like just move in the right direction and try to control my urges. Because as a man, I think that's the most important thing, is to control that urge. If you keep thinking with your dick, you're going to be left behind. But if you detach yourself from your dick and put it into your brain, you will move mountains. So trying to navigate your life through this journey of distractions, right? And those distractions are like your mates calling you out for a drink. You know, your mate calling you out to be like, hey, like let's go get like this burger. Or you're trying to work on your business and you're trying to get into the best shape of your life. And you know, people are just trying to give you that doubt, to give you that negative seeding. You know, oh fuck, don't worry about it, bro. Just take it easy. Like eventually, you know, like just take it easy, bro. Take a day off. You're working too hard. Come grab a drink with us. You go grab a drink with that person. You already don't want to do that. You now start to feel like shit, and now you feel as if you could have used that time better to work on your business, right? That there is a distraction. Yes, okay, you can use the argument, oh, but that's socializing, and you just said earlier that it's important for you to like detach yourself from a business and blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, dude, in a business, you have to have that level of dedication. If internally, you've internalized that you don't want to go, but now you're being, I can't think of the word right now. You're being pushed, swayed a certain way for you to do something because they're making you feel bad for the goals that you have and you're doing it. Well, then that's not your intention, and thus meaning that wasn't the thing that you truly should be doing. However, if you're working on your business and you were like, I really want to go spend some time with my friends, I want to go for a drink, that's a different story. But you being swayed to feel a certain way and swayed to move a certain way, and the moment you go to that point, you then feel like shit and you regret making this decision, well, that's the distraction. And now it's like curating, okay, what is my decision and what is a distraction that's taking me away from what I'm trying to do? And the reality is, bro, like I have really cut off so many people in my life. I have made those decisions that I will not go overseas. I will not go to this party. I will not see this person. I will just work on my business because yes, it might actually suck at the time, right? I will sit there and be like, I want to go, but I know I shouldn't go because that time could be spent doing this instead, and I know this will work better, and I want to make my future self happy. I will make this decision. Right? You have to make those sacrifices, but you have to logically break down. You know, there's the logic and the emotional side of your brain, and you need to go left and right for you to curate your understanding. One big thing that I love, and I'm a big proponent of this, is pros and cons list. Having a pros and cons list before you make a decision, because that allows you to have your emotion and your logic in one spot. So if it comes down to buying a car, if it comes down to investing in a property, if it comes down to getting into a relationship, whatever it may be, literally writing down the pros and cons and writing until your fucking hands hurt, and literally you'll be like, okay, which one has more, which one has less? If the pros outweigh the cons, then you go for it. If the cons outweigh the pros, then you go for it. Right? Because then that way you cannot doubt yourself anymore. You cannot doubt the decision that you've made. You know for a fact, okay, I logically broke this down. My emotions are not tied to this. I even wrote my emotions in here, but the logic still won. That's the decision I'll make. And that's how I move in this world. Every time I need to make a big decision, I will sit there for like an hour, do a pros and cons list, and be like, all right, cool, I'll make this decision now. And nobody's little fucking whisper, nobody's doubt, nobody's insecurity, projection can ever change my move, because I'm like, I know you're saying this based off your insecurities and you're projecting that onto me when I know for a fact this is my decision. This will not be a distraction. I will not get distracted by your way of thinking. And one thing that I learned listening to Neurologic, I really like this guy, is that people will not love you or like you because of you. People will love you and like you because they see themselves in you. They will see their attributes in you. That's why they get attracted to you, not because of you, but because you represent something of them. And people will dislike you because you are doing something that they can't actually do. So then they will then represent you as that individual that does something that they cannot do, which means that they actually end up resenting you, right? They don't actually love you, they don't care about you. It's like you are doing something that they either wish they could do themselves, or they look up to you because they see themselves in you, right? And I think that was when he said that, bro, and I was like, damn, bro, that is so true. Like, that is actually so true. I love Neurologic because Neuroknowledge, because I actually see myself in that guy. What he says, I'm like, I think the same way. I'm like, I really like this guy. But I don't like him as a person, bro. He could literally be a mass murderer, but I like the way he thinks. Why? Because I see myself in that. And maybe one of you guys fucking hates me, but that's because I'm doing something that you can't do. And guess what, bro? Fuck you. Because I'm doing something that you can't do. Look at it as inspiration more than anything, bro. Don't be a hater, right? Let me go to my next point. Being calm on yourself and understanding that this is a journey, not a race. This is a concept that I have battled with for so fucking long. That this is a journey, this isn't a race. I have quite honestly really feared. I actually need to check if this thing is recording or not, because I'll kill myself, thank God. Alright, it's still recording. I have really battled with the idea of, I have to make it now. I really have to make it. I need to have $1 million before I'm 30. I need to have the Porsche, the Lambo, the watch, the this, the that, all before I'm 30. And if I don't, I'm a failure. But then I'm like, well, what's the rush? No, actually, what is the rush? Yes, okay, I believe everything is pre-written. I honestly believe that is gonna happen. Whether that happens in 2025 or whether that happens in 2035, why does it actually matter? And this is a thought that I continuously think to myself. And don't get this twisted that I'm teaching this because this is how it is. No, I'm actually still going through this, right? All of last year, I was in the go, go, go mode. Like, no sleep, sleep is for the weak, 3-4 hours of sleep. Just need to go to crush it, whatever. Funny enough, I do the same thing now, right? I wake up at 4:45 every single morning, and I really just try to push and get as much work done as possible. I love it. I actually fucking love that shit. And I enjoy it, right? But at the same time, I also have those thoughts where I'm like, well, why am I pushing so hard? Why? What is the importance of me pushing so hard? Because if I know I'll eventually get there, then why try? But then I think to myself, well, how do I know I will get there the way I want to get there if I don't push this hard? And if I put this much time and effort towards this particular goal, then I'm gonna get there guaranteed, versus not having a guarantee by taking a very chill approach. I think both people will get to the eventual goal, but one person might get there sooner rather than later, or one person might get there with more of a understanding of the world than the other person. This is a thought that I keep going through my head, and I actually feel maybe a bit weird posting this video because I'm not trying to sit here and teach something. I'm actually just like, this is a journal for me, quite literally, for me to understand what I'm trying to do in this world. But right now, in this current thought process, I am going for the latter, Oh, sorry, I'm going for the former actually. I'm going harder, right? But I'm still trying to remind myself that this is a journey. As long as I keep pushing, I remind myself it is a journey. If there is a setback that occurs, it is okay. It's a test that I have been given, and I'll keep pushing, right? I do feel like the setbacks may not happen at that same speed if I take the more relaxed state. Maybe there are. Maybe there's like that level of anxiety that I could be doing more and have that doubt. But I really enjoy pushing, and through that push, I like to remind myself to take a step back. Right? That actually makes sense to me. Push hard, but learn when to take a break. Push hard, but learn when to take a break every single time. And I did that. Like, I like to go for sprints, 6-day sprints, where I'll do 6 days, 4:45 wake up, 12, 13, 14-hour days of work. And then Wednesdays, I like to kick back. All right, let's reel it back. Let's sleep in a little bit more. Thursdays, all right, let's try to kick back. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, let's go. Right, let's fucking send it. So that's where I'm at. I'm even booking a flight to Bali. I've been looking at flights on when's the best time to go to Bali. Probably gonna go in May. And just fucking get a one-way ticket and just come back whenever I want, right? Just so I can like pull the layers back and just relax a little bit, because I'm gonna go through a sprint. And thankfully, bro, because of the energy I'm putting out to this world, because I'm taking life a little bit differently, you know, business is doing well, clients are doing well, content is actually, I'm having fun with content, I've taken a different approach with content. YouTube in my head was like, how do I acquire a fuck ton of clients? To now it's like, I want this to be a journal for myself to acquire clients, but at the same time, I just want to be myself and just like have a community of people that get it, right? I don't know where this is gonna go, but I have a goal and I just want to keep pushing, and that doubt is always going to keep creeping through. But as neuro knowledge likes to say, that doubt is just the spiritual version of the old you trying to pull you back to that version. And you got to keep pushing to become the best version of you. And as you continue to do that, those old versions of you are going to keep trying to come into your life and bring you back and push you and pull you. But it's your decision at the end of the day if you want to go back there or if you want to keep moving forward. That's what I have. That was my my conversation, and I'm very happy that I got through this, because I battled some demons to make this video, because I actually could not be fucked making this video after all of those L's that came through. But this is what happens when you push through adversity. You get to the other side. Anyways, I got client check-ins coming up for the next 4 hours. I'm gonna stop rambling. Take care. Yalla.